our modeling has been slightly different in that I don't feel there's value in some types of the projections that have been presented. Our modeling is about what do we need to prepare for, and as you can see, the deaths are not something that can be predicted. It depends on how your outbreak evolves, and so we'll be continuing to use the modeling. We use some much that is very similar to what they have in what they presented this morning, and as a matter of fact, we've contributed to much of the modeling and the data that they're using. So we will continue to present, and we publish the ongoing epidemiologic curve and the case counts and our test positive rates every day on the BC CDC website, and we'll be presenting more of our dynamic modeling next week as well.
I want to assure you I'm not adding anything on the questioning of modeling to what Dr. Henry has said, just to say that we're expecting to present an update to the modeling we provided next Friday, probably Friday morning, so you can plan for that. As you know, BC was the first province to provide its modeling 2 weeks ago, and now others have followed, and we're going to update that modeling so people can see both how we're doing and what our expectations are on next Friday.
Vaughn Palmer, go ahead.
Yeah, I wanted to ask a follow-up on that one because now that we have the national numbers projecting deaths, I assume that British Columbia was involved in producing the national modeling as well. Most other provinces have done that, and as I understand Dr. Tam's reason for doing that, it is to provide the public with a sense of how things could play out if we exercise and follow through on stronger controls, and what could happen if we sort of slacken our guard. Can you explain why that doesn't seem like that doesn't strike you as something that might be helpful out here, or whether or not you might change and incorporate the cumulative deaths the next time you do modeling here?
Yeah. So those are not projected deaths. This is the challenge. Those are models, so they're a range of possibilities of what could happen. It's not projecting what is happening, and what we are focusing on is the dynamic modeling that we have that shows us what is happening based on our data. And actually, death data is not something that is easily projected into a model because scenarios can be very different. If you look at ours, for example, where we have a lot of long-term care home outbreaks, we have a high proportion of deaths in those outbreaks. That doesn't reflect the general transmission of this virus in our community. So I just don't understand. I don't believe that projections or estimations that are based on models are particularly helpful. What we are looking at is what we are dealing with. And what we've told you and what we will present again and continue to share the details of is exactly what we're tracking and how we're moving, what we're seeing on a day-to-day basis, and what the possibilities are compared to what we've seen in other places in the world. And it's not that different from what they've presented. I just, that's the modeling that we're using. We're being open and transparent with it, and we can see that the things that people are doing here in BC are making a difference, and that's the important thing.